Be honest, we all came to college to party, and there's no better way to get the party started than a shot ski. The problem with this is a lot of skis are ugly, and the shot glasses are glued to them, which means we're all swapping spit. Working with NASA engineers, we have specially designed specific shot holders that will be thermoformed to the exact specifications of a shot glass, along with a sleek, aerodynamic design that will be water dipped on to reduce drag while drinking. I decided to drill the holes first. That way any markings that I made for the measurements would be covered up by the water staining. So first things first, I made the measurements for the holes, and each hole had to be 18 inches apart, and the outermost holes had to be at least 6 inches from the edge, just so that person on the end could have something to hold on to. This ski was about 6 feet long, which meant I could fit in 4 holes pretty comfortably. So I went ahead and punched those out with a 1.5-inch drill bit, and after that I sanded off the rest of the paint and the markings from my dimensions using 60 grit sandpaper and a Craftsman palm sander. Made sure to get the front and back sides as well as the edges so it could be a nice clean finish for the water dipping. Water dipping is a pretty straightforward process, with the two main ingredients being a tub of water and some paint. Preferably you want a tub that is at least the length of your piece because you want it to go in flat, and as you'll see I had some trouble with this shorter tub with getting the whole ski covered. So what you do is spray paint on whatever design you want to see on your piece, put that on top of the water, and as the spray paint cools it actually creates a film that just sits right on that top layer. Again, as you dip your piece, make sure you're going in as flat as possible. That way everything that touches the water gets covered in paint. Pull it out slowly and then you can see the film hanging off the edge. Just flip it around a couple times and it should wrap on your piece. Don't be afraid to double dip. That way you get everything covered and there's a nice consistent layer. And then as you see, I also reapplied the paint to the water and started it all over again. After you've dipped it a couple times, you may see some air pockets forming. Go ahead and pat those out. Those will just lead to peeling after the paint is dried, which would be no bueno. To make the shot holders, I used Instamorph meltable plastic. And I was using a 2-part mold here with the shot glass as the shape of my part. And then I used the top of a shaker to be the cavity. So the idea here is that Instamorph will go inside the shaker and then I'll press in the shot glass to get my mold. When the water gets hot enough, you're going to want to pour in the Instamorph and wait for that to heat up. You'll know it's ready when it becomes translucent and a little bit gummy. In this case, I turned it into a ball and I place it in the shaker and press in the shot glass. Make sure to work it around in circles to get the Instamorph to go along the walls. Next, what you want to do is cut off any excess mold that made it over the top of the shaker, and then go ahead and pat down the cut edge. This will just give your holder a good aesthetic appearance of being flat on the top with no sharp corners. Then lastly, you're going to want to flip over the mold and compress the bottom edge so we can get a nice snug fit into the cutout holes in the ski. Once all 4 shot holders have been made, it's time to party.
Everybody is on. Shots, 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 shots.